Let's step back a few years. Republican Senator Goldwater told the press that President Johnson was about to use the nuclear bomb on the Vietnamese, but couldn't be trusted to tell the American people. Whereas if he were elected president, he would use it when needed, be honest and upfront about it.
I ordinarily ignore irresponsible charges.
Right.
But when they go to talking about dropping nuclear weapons, that's something that frightens the world and mothers and everything else. They keep allowing. We got to blow the whistle on that stuff.
Right.
People ask me, why is a children's doctor working for the election? Because I think we owe our children, above all else, a peaceful world to grow up in. Barry Goldwater's ideas of how a president should act fill me with alarm. He thinks that an army commander in the field should be allowed to unleash nuclear weapons if he wishes to. He thinks that it was all a mistake for President Kennedy to secure the test ban treaty. I hope for your children's sake that you will vote for President Johnson.
The president's speechwriter advisor, perhaps America's greatest journalist to this day.
Better get for me tomorrow the Republicans that are the best prospects.
All right, I'll have that for you. I'm going to call the president of the Chamber of Commerce. He made a good speech last week. He urged businessmen to get into the war on poverty, bring all of his people from all over the country with a legislative finesse artist, to use Doherty's language, and ask him to stay here for 2 days and do nothing but work on poverty.
All right, call me as soon as you know, because I want to see who I can talk to.
All right, sir.
What about my speech at Syracuse?
It's coming along pretty good. It's a good speech. It's not ready for you to have yet, but it will be during the night. Bundy and Goodwin and I met for an hour a day at lunch on it.
What's the lead on it?
The lead is reasserting civilian control over nuclear weapons.
Okay, that's good. All right.
Reasserting civilian control over nuclear weapons.
This would echo the call of Einstein's committee, combining with it our true security, good jobs to fight poverty. But within a few hours, such a pivotal presidential speech is sabotaged and subverted. Moyer's draft is scratched. New speechwriters are brought in. President Johnson will mention nothing about these weapons nor poverty. Misleading information was rushed to his desk concerning being attacked in the Gulf of Tonkin. Most tragically for the people of our country, millions of Vietnamese, he addresses the nation to commit us to the business of armaments, war in Vietnam.
Mr. President?
Yes, sir.
This is General Wheeler.
Yes, sir.
General Wheeler advises clearly to LBJ not to talk to our media about nuclear weapon matters. It's what the world's citizens have been up against from all military industries.
One statement should be made that the use of forces and weapons is a matter for the President to decide at the time in the light of the situation. And that you will have nothing further to say about this matter. We should just refuse to talk about it. We should just refuse to talk about it.
Thankfully, he does talk about it.
The Republicans remember that they've always been elected by trying to scare the people. Their platform this year is made up of one word: fear.
I said I was ready when I came in here, and I reduced my nuclear stockpile and our production, and I closed down some reactors. And Khrushchev did the same thing, but when you had a change over there, all at once things froze up. Now, I've never said one unkind word about the Soviet Union or any of their leaders. I told him, well, I want to visit your country. I want all your people to come here. I wish Mr. Kosygin come see us. I wish Mr. Brezhnev. I want all of our people. I want our artists, our musicians, our politicians, our businessmen. I want them to know your people. I'm not afraid of you, and I don't think you ought to be afraid of me. And I think that we're the two powers in the world. There's no reason why we ought to keep all the world feeling that we're going to blow it up, because I'm not going to. I don't think you're going to. I'm not afraid of you, and I don't see any reason in the world why you ought to be afraid of me. I want to know you better, and I want to exchange goods with you, and I want to exchange scholars with you, and I want to exchange people with you, and I want to see you get along and do well. I think you want to do the same thing.